In today's rap session, we serve up insight into the sport of tennis. Speaking on behalf of the BLTA is President Perry Newton. The Atlantis Resort's Imperial Ballroom transformed into a training camp facility to host the visiting NBA squad, the Philadelphia 76ers. And how to do a proper Bulgarian squat. And this shows fitness tips, that and more in this edition of Time Out. But first, this commercial break.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell-Marshall, 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access, now at 7:30. Then, at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown, with Clint Watson, and 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS, and it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Clint Watson has been the trusted voice of journalism for over 2 decades. He is your first choice for hard-hitting discussions, your best choice for current affairs issues and investigative journalism. It's time to start the journey of relentless journalism. It's time to start the journey of facts over fiction. It's time for The Rundown with Clint Watson here on ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. You're tuned into the Time Out with your host, Charles Fisher, the best sports show in the nation. And today we are talking tennis, and joining me, my guest, President of the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, Mr. Perry Newton. Way to go, boy. How's things?
Everything's good. Good. Nice day.
You've been around, you're young like me, but you've been around tennis now for quite some time. What got in your mind and say, let me get involved in the administration of tennis?
Well, how I got involved with tennis, I have a nephew who played, and he came up through a grassroots program. And as he played and got better, I said, let me support. And then eventually, how can I support? And they just kept looking for ways to support, starting in PR. Then I was the treasurer. And then, eventually I say, okay, maybe I can make a difference as president. And that's how I got involved, just wanted to make a difference.
What is the role of the BLTA?
The role of the BLTA is to promote the sport of tennis throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And it sounds like a really hard task, but we have good persons on the islands. And one of the things that my administration has focused on is the development of tennis on the different family islands.
Mm-hmm. How is that going? I know they normally have a tournament over there in Eleuthera, and then Abaco and Grand Bahama has always been swinging.
Yeah, it's going really well. Abaco last year had their first ranked tournament for the juniors. They always had adult tournaments, so it was a good addition to be able to have a different venue for the junior athletes. This year, we had one of our coaches go down to Inagua, where they started a program for the juniors in Inagua, and then on the other family islands, we now have interest building up. We have players that come from Exuma to compete in our national tournament, so that's really good, and you see the growth of tennis through those islands. I think one of the catalysts that has assisted with the other islands getting involved has been the Bahama Games, because we had teams built from all the different islands. So now we see how that's spilling over. So now we're now trying to find resources to help those islands to organize and be able to provide tennis to the persons on the islands.
How is the BLTA funded? Because there is a stigma out there that only the rich people kids play tennis, only the rich people play tennis, the inner city kids, but you say you come from the grassroots, don't play that tennis.
Well, you say how we're funded.
Yeah.
We're funded through donations, we're funded through activities that we have, and it's a lot of sacrifice. We're funded through the sacrifice of persons who would have seen the impact that tennis has had on persons before. So a lot of our funding comes just from corporate sponsorship. We always need more, let me say that. And so that's primarily how we get our funding, is through grants, sponsorships, and events that we put on.
But I also indicated, they may say only the rich people kids play tennis, only the rich people go there and swing tennis. How do you get that narrative out of there?
Well, what we do, and I think what the best thing is, we have a program, our Play Tennis program that we've been using. It allows for us to make tennis affordable. Play Tennis, we have a $1 registration fee. We provide all of the equipment, so the kids only have to come dressed in like PE clothes, tennis, short pants, and a shirt, and we provide the lessons. I think the biggest challenge to getting it to more persons is the number of tennis teachers that we have. So one of our goals is to train more tennis coaches, that they'll be able to teach lessons, whether it's in schools, on playgrounds, or just have their own programs going.
What's your approach to promoting fair play and sportsmanship in tennis? Because I know you have a program there as well with that.
Well, one of the biggest things when persons think about tennis is they think of tennis as an individual sport. But from every level that especially, it starts with the parents, and you have to let the parents know that this is what is expected. So when we correct the kids on the court, and it's something that has to happen in motion. So we let the kids know what we expect. Tennis is always a sport, whereas either before or after your match, whether you win or lose, you greet your opponent with a handshake, fist bump, racket tap. And so it's the small things like that we try to instill in our players. Integrity is also a big part of it. And you say integrity, playing with your 100% effort, with a good effort. And just competing and finishing the matches, and that's part of fair play. That's a part of integrity, because if I just say, I quit, then it's almost like I'm throwing a match. So we try to promote persons to finish and to compete at 100%.
There are coaches and officials supported. What are their roles in the BLT? How are they supported?
Well, the coaches and officials, they're the backbone of the association. They're one of the pillars that we've identified. When we first took office. And what we do for the coaches and the officials, we try to provide training courses for them. We try to find a way to create an economy around them, because most sports in the country is built off of volunteerism. And so with the coaches, we feel that it's important for them to be remunerated in some way. The things that we do as an association, we don't charge, and we don't pay our coaches the life at key and the Bahama type prices, but we try to make it something, whereas if they had to do this for a living, would we be able to sustain the rates that we want to charge, so it can be affordable to everybody? And we found the formula that kind of works, and through different funding, we have persons who give us funding for some of our programs, and we try to support the coaches in that regards. And the training is a big thing. Training empowers the person to be able to execute their role effectively.
Well, what can you say some partnerships are being key to the BLTA?
Well, we have partnered with Urban Renewal. We do work with different branches of the police force. We also have worked with the Governor General's Youth Award Program. So it's a lot of different civic organizations that we connect with to introduce and provide tennis to various persons.
We are talking with Perry Newton. He's the president of the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association. When we come back, we're going to talk about Davis Cup.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
Welcome back to the Timer with the president of the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association, Perry Newton. And in this segment, we're talking just Davis Cup. When can we see another Davis Cup match happening here in the Bahamas? Because I remember going over there at National Tennis when Mark and Roger, those were playing. It was jam-packed and had pride.
That's one of my goals. Hopefully we'll have some events come to the Bahamas at that level. Everything is a year thing. So where we're at right now is 2025, 2026, 2027. For us to have a single tie here would probably be another 3 years if we were to continually just win. But with the right level of support, we can bring a regional event here, which would have minimum at least 7 other teams along with the Bahamas. So hopefully this segment would get some support for that, and we can make it happen.
But we do have an international junior tour, the Gombe Splash.
Yeah, we do have international tournaments. We have ITF under 18 tournaments, and we also have the under 14 COTEC tournaments, which is the regional body in charge of tennis in the South American, Central American, and Caribbean region.
And recently you were voted to one of those boards, right?
Yes, it was a part of the board for 2021, 2023, and I was re-elected at last year's AGM. And so I have responsibility for Sub-Region 3, which includes, I'll call our brothers, Jamaica, Haiti, Bermuda, Cayman, and then the Spanish countries of of Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Puerto Rico.
So what is your role? What are your responsibilities?
Just to help guide and steer tennis in that particular area. Some of the events that we have are broken up into sub-region. The pre-qualifying events are broken up into sub-regions, and then the countries that top that would go on into the final event. So it's a lot of planning and discussing budgets and things of that nature.
Now back to the Davis Cup, during a recent tie there, an incident happened, the BLTA had to get involved. How was the matter resolved? What was that all about?
The matter has been resolved. It's unfortunate. One thing that we like to tell persons is that it is a team event. Everything that the BLTA does, it promotes teamwork. All of the teams that we send off, like I said, is a team. And I think it's incumbent on persons to understand that when you're part of a team, you have to have the right attitude, and you just have to do what the team asks you to do. And failure to do that, it doesn't end well for anybody.
Prior to going, there was a little bit of uproar with who was the national coach, who was selected. I see a player, he opted not to play. Is there any punishment for that?
Well, a player who opts not to play, that's
right.
That's their decision. And persons may opt to play not to play for several different reasons. But we could appreciate the fact that the decision was made before the team was sent, and I think that alleviates a lot of heartaches, burdens, financial loss, and we could respect the person who said that, hey, I opt not to travel. We were able to send a strong team because we have persons in line. So and when you want to represent the country, you have to be cognizant that there's persons above you, persons beneath you, and if it was an injury, then the next person would be called up. If that person is available, the next person will be called up. So in that regards, it shows the depth that we have at the Davis Cup level. And, so we have a lot of prospects coming up in the 16, under 16, and the 18 category as well. So, that's the good thing about the whole situation is the country was able to move forward, and we fielded a 5-man team.
What other sport do you play? I can tell you why I asked that right now.
Well, I recently started to throw some softballs again, so and I did do a little volleyball in
because I think your best sport would be a boxer, because you've been taking punches from you've come into this association, this controversy here and there. You guys have been to court before, trying the presidency. Then this year with the Davis Cup, boy, you're taking some blows, but you're throwing them right back.
Well, I was always told that you have to have tough skin, and I think that. All the steps and all the actions that we take is in the best interest of sport, and we're trying to grow the sport, not just here in Nassau, but throughout all the islands. And if you speak to anyone on the islands, they can say that the BLTA has stepped up. Whatever we provide in Nassau, we try to provide on the islands, whether it's Grand Bahama, Abaco, Eleuthera, or whatever island calls us and tell us that they have interest in developing tennis on their island.
Well, you have it there from the president, Perry Newton, who's in his second term as president of the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association. He's sorted out the situation with the election. He's sorted out the situation with the Davis Cup. And he's sorted us out here on the timeout. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the show today, Perry.
All right, thank you.
All right, be right back.
Well, last week, the capital was transformed into NBA training camp central as the Miami Heat and Philadelphia 76ers both holding their training camps here in the 242 for Philly. The Bahamian connection extremely strong with national team players Eric Gordon and Isaiah Mobley.
Yeah, I feel like I went through a little bit of a free agent process and happy I ended up here with the 76ers. But I feel like it was a better even match made in heaven that we started training camp here in the Bahamas. I have some family ties here. Look forward to being with the national team going forward. So it's exciting to be out here.
This is great. I mean, when I first signed here, they told me about it, and I mean, how can I not be happy enough to be here? So this is great. Get a chance to see family and friends while I'm out here.
For Mobley, he didn't plan to spend the entire trip at the hotel and definitely planned on taking in some of the sights.
I definitely got to go get in the ocean. Maybe go down to Junkanoo Beach, check it out, maybe run into some family, try to mix it up. But you're right, it is a business trip, so, keep a good balance.
For star guard Tyrese Maxey, he was certainly enjoying his first trip to the Bahamas.
This is my first time in the Bahamas, so it's beautiful. As soon as I walked out the plane and onto the bus and onto the resort, it's been great, beautiful. I mean, humidity is amazing, hot, but coming from Philly, you need some type of heat sometimes.
The NBA season is set to begin on October 22nd. For Time Out, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No, let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs.
Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
In this edition of Time Out, we've been talking tennis. For more on the topic, we check in with Sports from the North reporter Shane Stubbs.
Elite Tennis Club is just one of the tennis programs fostering growth out of its players in Grand Bahama. Led by Coach Alan Hall, he tells us just why the club was founded.
Elite Tennis Club is a program designed to hone the skills and the talents of like-minded young aspiring tennis players. We try and get out here every day, Monday to Friday. We know that the benchmark is anywhere between 10 to 20 hours a week for amateur players. You have some players that aspire to go to college, they want a career in tennis, or they just want to do it socially. Elite Tennis, we focus mainly on academics and collegiate tennis playing.
The club has a pretty solid stable of players whose commitment is told by the hours of practice they log each week, especially with big goals in mind.
We have Aiden Ritchie, Dylan Sykes, and Noah Russell. Very dedicated. They play anywhere between 15 to 20 hours a week. Noah, who just was a finalist in the boys 14s. This is last year in the 14s, so he's bringing up his ranking to finish on a strong note. Dylan made the World Juniors team last year, and he aspires to make the Junior Davis Cup team for the 16s, as well as Aiden Ritchie. Aiden Ritchie had some success on the last event, which was the Flawless Construction Tennis Tournament, where he won the boys 16s.
And coming off of that huge win a few weeks ago, Ritchie wants to build off of that momentum. especially with the Focal Junior Tennis Tournament right around the corner.
I hope I could do well in that, take the title, just keep working hard. And I'm hoping to make the Junior Davis Cup team. I'm currently ranked 3rd in under 16th, so hopefully I can maintain that ranking and make it.
Noah Russell was a finalist in that same tournament. He's playing toward a spot on the Junior Davis Cup team, but in the meantime, he's got his sights set on besting the competition at the Focal Junior Tennis Tournament.
Well, I plan to come out there and do my best, and the best is all I can do. So whatever my placement is, as long as I played my best, I'm happy.
Then there's Jaleesa Clark, who has been one of the top female players on the island for a number of years. Now playing under 18, she's gunning for a spot on the Billie Jean Cup team this time around.
To perform as one of the ranked players, because they don't usually get to play, like number 3 and 4 usually don't get to play, so I'd like to be one of 1 or 2 to have a better experience and see what the college players like.
Currently ranked at number 2 in her age bracket, Tatiana Madu, who was actually on that Billie Jean Cup team, looks to make it back and regain her number 1 ranking.
Trials are in December, so I'm looking forward to that, trending up towards that. Obviously, it's coming towards the end of the season, so next season, hopefully I could make my way back up to number 1 very quickly.
And while there's a ton of talent around the country, Hall believes Grand Bahama will continue to make a lot of noise and has a lot of talent to choose from.
These guys, they set the pace. They set the pace for Grand Bahama, and they are very competitive amongst the other players in the country. You have II Bethel out of Harbour Island. You have Patrick McTaggart out of Nassau. And so that core group of players, they're very strong.
For the timeout, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Hey, what's up everybody? Coach Marcellus here, upliftmindandbody.com, and we're here at Physique Total Fitness, our usual hangout spot. And again, special thanks to the proprietor of this beautiful establishment, Coach Keith Hinsey, as we get ready to demonstrate another good exercise tip for you. This will be proper form when you're doing a Bulgarian squat. A lot of people want to know, what's the best place to put your foot? How do I decide where the best angle is, and making sure that I keep myself protected in terms of injury, not putting too much strain on your knee, so forth and so on. We're going to show you exactly how that works right now. So you can either use a bench if you have one, or you can use a chair. I'm going to have a bench here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on the bench just like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my foot out, whichever foot I'm going to have in the front. I'm going to put it out as far as I can. Notice it's all the way extended, and I'm going to stand up in that spot right there, and I'm going to reach back just like this. And that's now the proper place for me to have my foot, all right? And you can either have your toes, or you can use the heel of your foot, the top of your foot like this, whatever more is comfortable for you. And we're just gonna go up and down, and you're gonna come up off the front leg. Bend the back knee, your front knee's gonna bend automatically. Extend all the way up, just like this. And you can use weights if you want to, holding them in your hands at each side to give you extra balance, up and down. You're doing the same thing, going the other way, reaching back, and again, up and down on each side, getting that full motion right here in those quads. A great isolation exercise to get you all the effectiveness you want. It's a beautiful leg exercise, works glutes, quads, hamstrings, everything that is all a part of the leg, making sure you get all the benefits that you're looking for, okay? So that is your tip for today, proper Bulgarian squat formation. I'm Coach Marcellus. We'll see you again next time right here on Time Out.
And with that, we end today's show. Until the next one, thanks for watching, and time out!